Today, I am revealing my secrets because I get so many ADHDers asking me how it is that I do it all. Like, I'm a mom of 3 young kids and I have this business and this YouTube channel and my TikTok and everything. And I wrote a freaking book and people they want to know how I'm doing it with ADHD. And the truth is, I'm not doing it all. I have a ton of support and help from my husband and from his family and from my family. But even with all that support, still, half the time I just drop the ball. And I think one of the reasons I have been so traditionally successful with ADHD is because I've gotten really good at knowing which balls are safe to drop. I don't try to keep every ball in the air. I know I can't do that. I have accepted that. And honestly, I don't even feel that much shame about it anymore. And yes, as an ADHDer, I do struggle with prioritization, but I still think it's easier to try to prioritize knowing that there are certain things I can just let go versus when you're trying to prioritize and you're trying to get absolutely everything done all the time. Still, that prioritization can be really tricky. So today I am sharing with you 4 of my favorite productivity apps that help me prioritize what needs done and let go of the rest. If you're new around here, hi, hello, my name is Megan and I am an author, content creator, and life coach for autistic and ADHD adults like myself. And I have tried a lot of the apps out there, okay? So believe me when I say these are the really good ones. The first app that I'm going to share with you is the best one for ADHD parents. And it's really simple. It's just a shared calendar app. This might sound so obvious to some of you, and that's totally fine, but for some of you, this is gonna blow your mind, and I'm so excited for you. It doesn't really matter what calendar app you use, you just need one that can be shared with you and your partners or co-parents. Me and my husband use Google Calendar, but you can use, I think Apple has a calendar, Outlook has a calendar, and I'm sure there's a million other apps that do this. Just make sure that when you share the calendars, you can see each other's availability, the kids' activities, and anything else you need to keep track of. If there is something that you need a partner or co-parent to be present for, put it in the calendar as early as humanly possible. And I think, at least in Google Calendar, there's also a setting where it can email them or text them or ping them in some way. Do that as well, especially if your partners or co-parents also have ADHD. I'm not gonna lie, this literally changed me and my husband's lives. And I know that sounds so silly, but it really makes a difference to feel like you and your partner are on the same page. I remember several years ago, probably a decade at this point, I got into an argument with my future mother-in-law because of a scheduling snafu. And that whole conflict could have been avoided if me and my then fiance, now husband, were sharing a calendar. With a shared calendar app, there's no more trying to rely on a faulty ADHD memory system. There's no more fights about the mental load. It helps so much. So that is my #1 recommendation for ADHDers who are also parents. Get a shared calendar app with other partners or co-parents. The second app that I'm going to recommend is best for ADHD business owners, and that is xTiles. I have partnered with xTiles on this channel before. This is not a sponsored video. I just genuinely use and love xTiles. It's kind of like Notion if Notion were easier to use and also rainbow colored. And the reason I love it for small business owners is because businesses have a ton of moving parts that you just have to have a central location where you can keep track of it all. And I have tried Notion and Asana and Trello, and none of those stuck for me. Not that I have anything against those softwares. I'm sure they're great for some people, but in my experience, xTiles is a lot like a digital bullet journal, and I bullet journaled for a long time, and so it just jives with my brain. And xTiles has surveyed their users, and they've found that a majority of xTiles users have ADHD, so I think they're onto something. Plus, for all the business owners out there who need to survey their own audience for something or another, xTiles has a relatively new feature where you can create a form. You can give someone that form, they fill it out, not fill it out with a pen, but they fill it out, and that information that they fill out will auto-populate a table on your end. And so you can keep track of everybody's answers. It's literally been amazing. I have my yearly business calendar in xTiles. I scripted this YouTube video in xTiles. I literally do just about everything for my business in this software. So I highly recommend it. Does your never-ending to-do list have you feeling like a car spinning its tires in the mud? Are your ambitions exponentially bigger than your current capacity to actually pursue them? You're trying to do life in a neurotypical way with a very not neurotypical brain. Trust me, you don't need to just try harder or develop some discipline. You need support. Support that was designed with your neurodivergent brain in mind. And the sponsor of today's video, Focused Space, is exactly that. Part productivity app and part body doubling service, Focused Space is designed to help you achieve your goals your way. Personally, my 3 favorite features are the brain dump space, which allows me to get all of the ideas out of my head before I start planning when or how I'm going to get them done. Plus, you can drag and drop items from your brain dump into your daily to-do list. Wake up calls that give me a time when I have to be at my desk starting work. This is especially helpful for people who work from home and might find their start time for their day slipping later and later. Community sessions, which bring together different Focused Space users, and we all just try to be productive together. My favorite part of this is that all community sessions are led by someone from Focused Space. So it's not just you and random folks in a Zoom room together. It's a guided session. As an ADHDer with big dreams but a short attention span, Focused Space has made my goals feel so much more doable. And I am unbelievably excited and honored to announce that anyone who signs up for my Neurodivergent Lived Experience Summit, which is only $3 for a ticket, will receive 2 free months of Focused Space. Focused Space is a sponsor of the summit, and they have very generously donated 2 whole months of Focused Space to everyone who buys a ticket for the summit. Thank you so much, Focused Space, for sponsoring the summit and this video, and feel free to sign up for that summit in the link below. The third app that I'm going to recommend is best for ADHDers who work from home, and that is Focused Space, the sponsor of today's video. I know you just got a sneak peek into Focused Space through my little ad that I made, but I wanted to reiterate how great this app is. So some of the key executive functioning skills that ADHDers tend to struggle with are planning and prioritization. And a lot of ADHDers are not coping with this in the most effective way. What we're doing when we make a to-do list is we're trying to think of what needs done and when it needs done at the same time. And that might be possible for some neurotypicals, but I think even some neurotypicals struggle with this. But for the ADHD brain, that is like, your brain is gonna short circuit. And that's one of the things I love about Focused Space, because they have a brain dump area where you don't have to figure out when or how you're gonna do this, you just dump all the stuff. And then they have a daily to-do feature where you can drag and drop from your brain dump section. So you don't have to go back and look and retype it all, you just drag it over. It's so easy to use and so like intuitive. Plus, I just really love body doubling. If you haven't body doubled before, it's basically when you and at least one other person get together and you both just try to be productive in the vicinity of each other. It works in person, but it also works virtually, and Focused Space has a ton of body doubling opportunities. Finally, app number 4 is the one that is best for self-care, and of course it has to be Finch. I couldn't talk about ADHD apps without talking about Finch. Come on, you gotta know that I was gonna bring it up at some point. If by some chance you haven't heard of Finch, it is the most adorable productivity app. See, a lot of people in general find it hard to take care of ourselves, but a lot easier to take care of someone else, and Finch kind of takes advantage of that in a way that helps you. In the app, you have a teeny tiny little bird, and whenever you get stuff done, you get points so that you can buy that bird cute little clothes or cute wallpaper for the bird's house or a new bed or a new front door. And you can have as many or as few daily to-dos as you like. So if looking at a huge list of things you're supposed to do every single day stresses you out, just put 2 or 3 things on there. That's fine. Or if you're the kind of ADHDer who, if it's not written down somewhere, you literally will not do it, put everything on that bad boy. Personally, I think what I have on there is drink water, write my novel, play with my kids, check my email, read a book, and go outside. I think those are my things. Oh, and I love that Finch encourages you to connect with other Finch users. You can send them little hugs or say, hey, I like your outfit, and all kinds of stuff like that. My sister's partner actually sends me a reminder almost every day on Finch reminding me to drink water because he knows I'm a dehydrated bitch. And to be honest, it's just really lovely to be thought about like that. And probably my favorite of all, Finch is not shamey like a lot of productivity apps are. Actually, none of the apps on this list encourage shame, in my opinion. They're all about working with the brain you have, which is why I love them all so much. Remember, if you want to give Focused Space a try, make sure you sign up for the Neurodivergent Lived Experience Summit, because with your $3 ticket, you will get 2 months of Focused Space completely for free, because Focused Space has been an unbelievably generous sponsor of the summit. I'll link the summit below, along with links to all of the other apps mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and go forth and be productive.